Alright, we are down to what I would say is the second to last, the penultimate, as they would say for TV shows, the penultimate episode before the finale, before the big episode. So we're going over Chicago hats. Spoiler, the next one is about the Cubs. So these are all the Chicago-related, non-Chicago Cubs lost hats. So let's go over some of the hats, and we're going to start here with the Bears. The first hat is, well, it's a Bears-ish hat. I mean, yes, it is the Bears, but it's based on the logo, it more is a Decatur Staley's or a Chicago Staley's bear hat. The Bears were first in Decatur. They are known as the Staleys, and that's the name of the mascot, the bear currently, Staley. All you need to know is it's a classic Chicago Bears logo from the early to mid 1900s, really. So that's going to be on the list. More importantly, this classic Chicago Bears hat doesn't have any logo to it, but it's synonymous with one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. The Clark Griswold Chicago Bears hat. It's written out in script, small Chicago writing, and then Bears written in cursive. And the brim, underneath is green. It's just a great hat. It is synonymous with the Christmas vacation movie that is huge in American culture. So, of course, you'd want one. I know that Hat Club, I'm pretty sure, made one a few years ago, or maybe last year in 2019, but I didn't get it. But I want it. Grr. Just briefly here, the Chicago Bulls hats. Not a huge basketball fan, just it's not my sport, it's not my thing. I know plenty of other people enjoy it. For me, the Chicago Bulls City Edition hats are huge. These ones looked really cool. The first edition was the white one with the Chicago script kind of at an angle and the 4 stars. And then the bill was also that Chicago Sky Blue. I mean, Chicago Skyscrapers, Chicago Sky, the basketball team. So that kind of bluish color that you see on all of these Chicago hats here. And then the other one is a black hat with the Chicago flag just on the front. And that's why I really liked the 3.0 Chicago Bulls hat being a just plain blue hat with the 4 red stars on the front. And if you remember what the 4 stars mean, I'll give you extra credit. Comment down below what the 4 stars mean for the Chicago city flag. So I know I mentioned Northwestern before in one of my college lost hat videos. They're technically the Chicago Big Ten school, but I mean Evanston is there on the map, and Chicago is there. It's 2 different cities, towns, so it's not the same. Compared to like DePaul here, where it would have been nice if I was smart enough to have gotten a DePaul 5950 hat, whether it be one of these 3, 2, or all of them. The logo, the mascot is a blue demon because they're a Jesuit Catholic school. My uncle works for them. He also graduated from there with a bachelor's first, and then a master's, and now he's getting a second master's. And he's like pretty high up there with his front office position. You could say he's one of the top treasurer guys. So it'd be cool to get a DePaul hat because of him. I also had a friend in high school, Adam, trombone player of mine that I went for 4 years with. He went to DePaul, and my mom did some teaching at DePaul, so she worked for DePaul at one point. And that's a good segue into wanting a Loyola hat. 2 reasons. One, as I'm recording this video, my mom got a job offer to do some clinical teaching for nursing students at Loyola. But I also want a Loyola hat because in 2018, they went to the Final Four. It was a huge run for them. I remember the first game that they played of March Madness that year. I was at a car wash getting my car cleaned out for a date, and I was standing in the lobby waiting for my car to go through, watching it on my phone. They're playing University of Miami, Florida, and they just kept banking threes, Loyola, and pretty sure they banked a last second. I don't know if it was a buzzer beater. I think it was a buzzer beater, but it was a huge finish, and they just kept winning and winning. And I had wanted to get a Loyola hat, but I had cursed the team that I was rooting for. I had a Michigan State hat for that. I had a Michigan State hat because I was a Michigan State fan, because Big Ten and Green knew someone who went to Michigan State. So I'm like, hey, they're also doing good. Go Michigan State. Ah, crap. All right, well, Virginia, University of Virginia Cavaliers, they're the number 1 seed in their region and the number 1 seed overall in the tournament. They're going to have a good run. I'm going to be wearing this Virginia hat for quite a while.
Absolute. Incredible performance. Shock and awe in college basketball. UMBC makes history in Charlotte.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? Shit. So, that's why I never got a Loyola hat, because every round, it felt like I kept jinxing a team, or a college team, while wearing a hat. So, now that's so many years later, I need to get a Loyola Final Four hat because it was historic for them. It was huge. It was their first Final Four appearance since 1963, which was the same year that they won the tournament. So it had been a while. It would be nice to get a New Era hat of the Chicago Wolves, the AHL, American Hockey League, minor league team. It's like baseball. There's all these different divisions: AAA, AA, High A, Low A, Rookie Ball. So there's AHL, OHL, WHL, ECHL. There's European leagues too. It's confusing, but for North America, the AHL is essentially the AAA league for hockey, and the Chicago Wolves play in Rosemont, which isn't really Chicago, but the name is catchier than Rosemont Wolves. I've been to a few games. The last game I was at was a playoff game. I was in one of the suite boxes because the arena, Allstate Arena, is where the DePaul basketball team plays. Well, used to play until they got their own place. And my uncle had access to the tickets to the booth, to the suite, so we had a day there. Had a nice outing, and that was way before I was into hat collecting, and wish I would have gotten a hat. But it would be nice to get a 5950 nice quality Chicago Wolves hat. I mean, there's a picture of it. It has to be out there somewhere. Whether it be in its maroon natural color, that's those are primary colors, or if it's in black like that, I need a 5950 Chicago Wolves hat. To segment into the Chicago Blackhawks now, I know it's a big picture here, but the one hat I would like is the one in the corner there. Let's zoom in. It's a draft hat from 2018 when Adidas took over and started to ruin the hockey hats for the NHL. And all of the teams had their jersey designed into the draft hats, which was pretty cool. So it'd be a nice hat to. It's not huge on my must-have list, but it'd be nice to have. It's a lost hat. This hat might seem simple, but I remember from one of the previous seasons that Patrick Kane would always wear this Adidas snapback hat of the Chicago Blackhawk logo grayed out to grayscale. And I mean, looking at it now, it kind of has like a diving board brim, but still at the time, I thought it was a really cool hat. And it was in my hands at one point, and I didn't get it at a fan's shop in Vernon Hills when I was doing a emissions testing. I know, random way to segue to comment on that and bring that up, but I regret getting that hat I got that day instead of that hat. I got a University of Illinois hat that I barely wear, so go figure. Like you see with some of these Chicago hats here, the Bulls, the Bears, this Blackhawks hat I have here, all have the Chicago flag colors embedded into the hat design. And anytime, I think the Blackhawks do it a whole lot better than the Bears and the Bulls, Cubs, and the White Sox. But like this one was a really good example of a nice Chicago flag color hat to get. Fading gradient effect, and the flag on the side, popping colors on the gray background, just perfect. And all red Blackhawks hats is the last hat that I needed, like their basic hats. I have a Blackhawks 50-on-50 fitted hat that's black and red, that's all black, one that has a red crown and a black brim, but that just doesn't look as good as compared to a all red hat. I'm pretty sure at one point or another I had it in my hands, an all red hat, but never got it. So here we are, adding it to the lost hat list. The last lost Chicago hat on the list here is one that is sports related, but on a global scale. Back in 2009, Chicago made a bid to host the 2016 Summer Olympics. They competed with Rio de Janeiro, the eventual winner, Tokyo, Japan, and Istanbul, Turkey, who was on their, I think, fourth or maybe fifth attempt in the last 20 years at that time. And I was so excited about it. I was very into the Olympics at that time, and years later I found this hat on eBay, and I could have gotten it, but I just never did. I don't understand why. I can never understand my mentality of, why didn't you just get that hat when you could? Hell if I know. If I knew, then I wouldn't be making these videos. So I guess I didn't buy those hats so I could make future videos of lost hats. What a cynical cycle. Jeez. Damn. But, I mean, I do have one of their hats. It's an all black hat. It doesn't really fit too well. It fits high on my head. But this logo is practically perfect. If not, it is perfect. With the skyscrapers and a gradient, cascading color effect, rainbow effect, going from the bright orange to the red, and then going from like the green to the blue of the Lake Michigan color, and the Chicago star in the middle. This was a perfect logo. If Chicago would have won that bid for the 2016 Olympics, then it had been rumored that they were going to add a fifth star to the flag. But the IOC, International Olympic Committee, hated America at the time and did for quite a few years because we essentially bribed our way to the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Games. But this hat was really good. Wasn't really a big fan that it was a rail hat, railway coloring system. The front two panels was a different color than the rest of the hat. but looking back, I regret not getting it. Oh well. Actually, one more hat before we go. When I was younger in middle school, my dad had one of his buddies invite us to a few of these Chicago Shamrock games. The Chicago Shamrock were a team of the National Lacrosse League. Well, they didn't play in Chicago. They played in Hoffman Estates, suburb of Chicago, but the name is catchier. I'm sure the same thing with like teams that are outside New York and don't actually play in New York, but still have the New York name. Giants, Jets. Anyways, logo is really cool, great green colors, and it was something I was very interested in when I was younger. I almost got into lacrosse, like played lacrosse. There's no team that was fielded at my high school. There was a district team, but I got into band instead, so I kind of like my decision to go with playing trombone instead of playing lacrosse. But if I had to choose a sport in high school, I probably would have tried for lacrosse. Actually, now I think about it, lacrosse is a spring sport, and band is a fall sport. Son of a bitch, I could have made it work. Oh well. I would like to get a Shamrocks hat. Either find one somewhere, eBay or some other third-party seller site like that. Or it would be nice to find a way to get the logo re-imaged and digitized so I can have it embroidered on a 5950 hat. Although it is a professional team logo, I'd probably be facing a lot of copyright issues. Then again, they haven't played since 2009, maybe 2008. So if anyone from Lids knows the legality and the statute of limitation for logos that can be embroidered, let me know. And now we will end the class. So those are my Lost Chicago non-Cubs hats for this episode. Come back next time in class where I either go into one long-ass video or two-part video of Lost Chicago Cubs hats. It's essentially the series finale of this mini-series that I've been doing. I've been wanting to do this mini-series of Lost hats for a while. There will be plenty of more hats to come, but these are the initial Lost hats that I have. I hope to see you next time in class. Make sure you have your notifications set and that you're subscribed to the class. And I will see you the next time in class. Hats off to you for watching as always. Class is dismissed. Bye everyone.